Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Sean here, and welcome to the Steelers rebuild that so many of you asked for. I know it's a few weeks later than you may have expected it, and the reason for that is right after my Cowboys video went up, school started back up again, so I've been just extremely busy getting back into all of that. And it's also kind of impossible for me to actually record at school. So here I am at home for the weekend, and I'm getting some recording in. So taking a look at the Steelers roster, the offense, as everybody knows, is deadly. The O-line needs a little bit of work for what I'd like it to be. Villanueva and Pouncey are probably going to be gone very soon. I'd like a better tight end, but Ladarius Green and Jesse James are not too bad. And one more receiver to replace Sammy Coates. Maybe get... actually, Brian's pretty tall. Whoops, that's the wrong button. But Brian's pretty tall. He could stay on the outside. He is 6'4". Oh, I didn't know he went to Clemson. I forgot about that. But Sammy Coates is not all that great. I think some Steelers fans refer to him as like Stone Hands or something like that. But yeah, so anyway, so there are going to be some trades I'm going to make involving D'Angelo Williams, probably Pouncey and Villanueva. And then as for the defense, this is the side of the ball that really needs the work done to it. Most of these guys are going to be gone, I think. Why is Shazier only an 81? That seems really, really low for him. Dupree's getting up there now. He may stay around. But the secondary is pretty garbage. William Gay is the best corner, and he's 31, I think. Yeah, he's 31, and he's only an 83. The D-line's not that great. Cameron Hayward's going to be gone just because he's already 27, only an 81, and he's got kind of a big contract. Lawrence Timmons is going to be gone, as well as James Harrison. And is this Jarvis Jones? Yeah, okay. So they're all going to be gone. Mike Mitchell will probably be traded as well. So I got a lot of work to do. But I think my goal for this video is actually to go for a three-peat with this team just because of how dominant the offense is. So if we're in a good position after I kind of blow up the team just a little bit, then we may actually be able to make the playoffs this year. But we'll see after I finish with all of these trades. So even though I said we may try to go for a three-peat, you guys know I like getting my picks. So with the first trade, we're going to be sending James Harrison, Lawrence Timmons, and Mike Pouncey to the Cleveland Browns for their first-round pick this year and next year. And something I'm going to try to do with this rebuild and from here on out, I'm going to try to change things up a bit. And you guys can maybe give me some feedback on how to expand on this. But for whatever draft picks we have, I think I'm going to actually edit the players that we draft to have real-life prospects. So say we're a QB needing team, like the Jets, for example, because this is somebody that I want them to draft in real life, and we draft a quarterback in the first round. I'll change that player to be like Deshaun Watson. So I think it'll make it a little bit more interesting to actually have these real-life players that are going to come into the league. And I don't know, just kind of spice things up a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to keep trying to make some trades here. So with this next trade, we're going to be sending B.J. Finney, Alejandro Villanueva, and Cam Hayward to the 49ers for their first-round picks this year and next year. So with our next trade, we're actually going to be getting a player back this time. We're sending Arthur Moats, Jarvis Jones, and a third-round pick this year to the Jets for Leonard Williams. And we do have more trades to make. I actually have a couple of things in mind. You'll see very shortly. So with our next trade, we're going to be sticking with the Jets, and we're going to be sending them William Gay, Mike Mitchell, and Justin Gilbert for their first-round picks this year and next year. So with our next trade, we're going to be sending, I don't remember his first name, but McCullers and I think his name's Javon Hargrave to the Broncos for Shane Ray. So we have our new right outside linebacker. There's like maybe one more trade I want to make, and then we'll go ahead and go to the midseason and see where we're at and what players we got to re-sign and everything else. So D'Angelo Williams is going to be gone, and I think Marcus Wheaton may be gone as well. So with this trade, we're sending D'Angelo Williams, Marcus Wheaton, and a fourth-round pick this year to the Cardinals for Deion Buchanan. So I'm going to move him to safety, and then I'm going to make one final trade for our other starting safety. All right, so I don't think that I showed you guys this yet, but instead of actually trading for another safety, I was going to trade for Sua Cravens and move him to safety. But instead, I'm just going to move Russ Cockrell there because his man coverage is trash, but he's got good zone coverage. So I'm just going to have him play free safety. He's a free agent after this year. I don't know if I'm going to re-sign him yet or not. But I did pick up some guys in free agency like Terrence Knighton, Kawan Williams, Antonio Cromartie, and then just some offensive line pieces pretty much. But that's going to do it for this part, so I'm going to go ahead and sim to the midseason. So here at the midseason mark, we're surprisingly 6-1. Oh wow, far and away best team in the division. And we do have 6 players to re-sign, including the big one, Le'Veon Bell. Russ Cockrell, like I said, is a free agent, and he usually wants more money than that as a corner, even though he's like a 79 as a corner. Just kind of funny to me, but I guess that's just the difference in the positional value. But I'm going to get going on this. Hopefully we can get Le'Veon Bell back. He's usually a little picky when it comes to his contract, and he'll accept it, so that's good. Cockrell is also going to be coming back. Roosevelt Nix, I mean, he's a fullback. I suppose I'll give him a contract, and he will accept that. Chris Boswell, I do like Chris Boswell. I'll take him if he takes, like, that offer. And he does. Carlos Williams, I'm not worried about as the backup running back. I'll probably just draft one. So that's actually going to be it for the re-signing. But I will actually scout some players and go ahead and go to the playoffs. So I'll see you guys there. Wow. So here at the playoffs, we finished 10-6. We were 6-1 at the midseason. That's what a terrible second half. But anyway, let's look at some stats. Big Ben looks like, he had a good year. Almost 4,700 yards, 38 touchdowns, 12 picks. Very solid year out of him. Le'Veon Bell, almost 1,500 yards and 18 touchdowns. Carlos Williams had 12 touchdowns as the backup. Receiving, Antonio Brown. I saw some stuff on the news page about him. So he did pretty well. 1,300 yards, 14, jeez, it's kind of a lot of touchdowns. But the rest of the, actually it got spread around pretty well. Bryant had 850 yards and 4 touchdowns. Ladarius Green, 900 yards, 7 touchdowns. Sammy Coates even had 900 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Le'Veon Bell also had 4 touchdowns receiving. Blocking, I'm expecting a lot of sack. Holy shit. Eugene Monroe is so terrible. I don't even know why I bothered to pick him up. I'm sure he does no better than like a 69 overall would. But as for the defensive side of the ball, Ryan Shazier leads the team with 145 tackles. Tackles for loss was led by Quentin Coples with 11, followed by Leonard Williams. And sacks was also led by Quentin Coples. Very surprising, Leonard Williams in second with 7, and Stephon Tuitt with 6. Picks, Artie Burns, the rookie, led the team in picks with 4, and then Cockrell and Cromartie both had 3 each. Let's see, any forced fumbles is what I wanted to look at. Shazier had 3, and if we had any touchdowns, we did not. But as for awards, I don't know if we won anything. Rodgers wins MVP. Roethlisberger comes in 6th, and Bell comes in 10th for MVP. Coach of the Year goes to Mike McCarthy. We came in 9th for Coach of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year, what the hell? Ryan Tannehill winning Offensive Player of the Year. That's really weird. Le'Veon Bell and Roethlisberger come in 3rd and 4th, and that's the only Steelers we have. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Khalil Mack. We had Shazier at 5th, and that's it. Rookie of the Year goes to Cody Kessler, who's been winning it a lot lately whenever I do these rebuilds. At least when I do them offline. But he's won it like 3 times that I've actually done one of these. Artie Burns comes in 6th for Defensive Rookie of the Year. So that's going to be all of that. And I'll go ahead and use some of this XP. And, oh man, some of these guys have quite a bit. So I will use some XP and get into this wild card game against the Bills. So here in the wild card game against the Buffalo Bills, we're sitting at an 86 overall compared to their 83. And I think our offense is going to just kind of destroy them. So we'll see what happens, though. Although I am definitely expecting a win. So coming up on halftime here, we actually just tied the game, but then they kicked a field goal and scored a touchdown. So it is a very close game at the moment. And we're down by 10, though. And it's not looking good. Yeah, we're going to lose. So we lost. Not exactly what I expected, although with our bad defense, it's not entirely surprising that Tyrod Taylor had such a great game, but Ben did really well too. LaShawn McCoy just absolutely torched us. So that's unfortunate, but not going to be able to get the three-peat. So somehow the Bills end up in the Super Bowl against the Redskins, and the Redskins actually win 31-21. But here in the offseason, we have like 23 players to re-sign. Most of them, I think, are not going to be coming back. Yeah, definitely not to pretty much all of these guys, actually. Yeah, I'm not at all worried about any of these guys. So I'm not going to re-sign anybody, and we're going to go ahead and go to free agency, where we'll see who's actually there. The first free agency class usually isn't that great. So I'm kind of skipping over free agency. There wasn't anybody really good that I was interested in signing. So our first trade, though, that we're going to make in this offseason is Vince Williams and a second-round pick to the Cowboys for Zach Martin, and I think he's probably going to play left tackle for us. But I have definitely one more trade in mind, and that's going to be for Joey Bosa. That might actually be it for the offseason at least. I have an idea of what I'm going to do with these 3 picks. You guys will see in just a second. I'm going to do the draft a little bit differently. I'm not going to show you guys me actually taking the players because I'm going to edit their names first. So it'll be a little surprised, but I'm going to trade Ross Cockrell, and there's a good reason for this. I'm going to have to give up. What can I give up? Can I do? Oh. I'm going to see if I can do this. If not, I'll try the second, and then maybe a first next year. Oh, the second will work. But I know I just signed Cockrell to an extension, but I have a very good reason for this. What? So yeah, so the draft should be interesting, to say the least. And we're finally going to get Joey Bosa. My God. So yeah, that's all I'm going to do for now. So I'll see you guys after the draft. So here after the draft, I told you guys I had some things in mind. We were able to get Marshawn Lattimore, Mike Williams, Malik Hooker, and yes, I did intentionally spell his name wrong because I tried putting in the correct spelling, and Madden told me that it was profane. So I guess they're going to have to fix it next year. But he was actually the number 1 rated player in the entire draft. And then this guy's just some random running back. I was going to make him Joe Mixon, but honestly, I think he's going to go much earlier than the 7th round. So I didn't really think that would be very realistic. So I was like, yeah, I'll just leave Diamond Cooks how he is. But these 3 guys are actually quite good. Unfortunately, they all have normal development, so that kind of sucks, but that's really the only downfall. I do have to move Zach Martin somewhere. I think I'm going to make him left tackle, and then we'll find somebody to play center. But this offense is looking just pretty damn amazing. And then the defense with the rookies too, Lattimore and Hooker should be quite good. Artie Burns was really good last year. So if we can get another corner and maybe probably put Burns in the slot or nickel corner. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying, but that seems like a good idea. So I'm probably going to look to do that and then also get a second defensive tackle. So this team's starting to come together, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the start of season number 2 and start looking for some trades. So with the first trade of season number 2, we're going to be sending Eli Rogers and a third-round pick to the Patriots for Shaq Mason, who I'm going to move to center, and he'll be the starter there. What was the other trade? I want to make one more trade for a D tackle, and then actually a corner too. We need another corner. So after those 2 trades, oh wow, Joey Bosa has 23,000 XP. After those 2 trades, we'll be good because we don't have a whole lot of cap room, which I probably should have paid attention to. But it's a little unfortunate, so we're going to have to make the best of it and try to find some cheaper guys. So I'm going to keep going on that. So with our next trade, we're going to be sending a first, third, and fifth round picks to the Saints for Sheldon Rankins. And with that, I have one more trade to make, which is for another corner. And I don't know exactly if I'm going to be able to make it because it's really, really hard to trade for the corners in this game. At least the young and inexpensive ones, but I will give it my best shot. So trading for a corner seemed to not really be worth it. It was going to take a first-round pick plus to get, what's his name? Vernon Hargreaves. So I was like, never mind, fuck that. So instead, I decided to sign Adam Jones, and he's going to be the nickel corner this year, which is pretty trash, but we're going to have to deal with it because that's pretty all. Well, it's pretty much all we can get at this point. So, Joey Bosa is up to a 93 overall after 1 year, which is pretty sick. But this is the team for this year. Pretty much the same as last year. Well, there are some notable additions. But basically the same, except for the rookies and Sheldon Rankins. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and go to the midseason. So here at the midseason, we do have a bye week this week, so I haven't seen a record, but we are 4-4. Wow, that is awful. I'm only assuming that our defense is not pulling its own weight. That's bad. But we do have 7 players to resign, including Antonio Brown. How much cap room do we have? Oh, we got plenty. Will you accept that? Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Damon Buchanan. We take that. Okay. I'll come back to you. Martavis Bryant. Try that. Okay, I'll come back to you as well. Jeez. Oh, Tuitt wants such a huge deal. Oh my god. You ain't worth that. I should have traded him. Shazier's not worth this either. Well, he might. Yeah, Shazier might be, but that's not that much money. But Tuitt is not worth $55 million. I'm just gonna let him walk, I think. But I'm just gonna go ahead and hope that we make the playoffs. I honestly don't know how we're underperforming like this, but I'm gonna try to get what's his name back on a contract and then go to the playoffs. So here at the playoffs, we managed to go 10-6. So same record as last year, but kind of the opposite. As you know, we kind of performed much better in the first half of the season last year than this year, but that's fine. At least we still made it to the playoffs. But wait a minute, did that say? Holy shit! What? Marshawn Lattimore? Oh my god, I can't wait to upgrade him. But let's take a quick look at the stats. He must have won Rookie of the Year. That's insane. Ben Roethlisberger, 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, 11 picks. Pretty similar year to last year. Le'Veon Bell, 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns. Diamond Cooks, 300 yards and 8 touchdowns in the backup spot. Receiving, Antonio Brown led the team with 1,500 yards and 13 touchdowns. Martavis Bryant, 700 yards, 5 touchdowns. Ladarius Green also had 5 touchdowns. And Mike Williams in the slot, almost 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. That's a pretty good rookie year. If he had more receptions, I'd say he's definitely Rookie of the Year worthy. As for blocking, hopefully it was better than last year, and it was. Zach Martin still let up 16 sacks, which is ridiculous. I really don't know what it is with this game, and the tackles just giving up a ton of sacks every year. But as for defense, Ryan Shazier led the team in tackles with 151, followed by Bud Dupree and Damon Buchanan. Tackles for loss was led by Joey Bosa with 12, and Joey Bosa also led the team in sacks with 10.5, followed by Tuitt, Dupree, and Ray all had 5.5. Picks, Damon Buchanan with 6 picks. Marshawn Lattimore, the rookie, had 3. Hooker only had 1. That's a little disappointing out of Hooker. I guess I didn't really get to, because with all these rookies, I didn't edit their stats or anything. I just changed their names. So it's not as realistic as I would think. Hooker would have a lot more picks. But whatever. So Marshawn Lattimore had our only defensive touchdown. As for awards, though, I'm assuming Lattimore got Rookie of the Year. Aaron Rodgers wins MVP, I think, back-to-back years, I think. Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger came in 6th, and that's it. Coach of the Year, and we came in 8th. Okay. So the AFC Offensive Player of the Year is to Andy Dalton. What the hell is going on in the AFC these 2 years? First Ryan Tannehill, and then Andy Dalton. It's like the 2 least likely, mediocre quarterbacks to win the award. But as for us, we got Roethlisberger and Bell at 4 and 5, and that's it for offensive. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Khalil Mack again. Shazier comes in 5th, and that's it. Rookie of the Year, Mike Williams comes in 3rd. Diamond Cooks somehow comes in 6th. Defensive Rookie of the Year, like I said, fully expected it to go to Marshawn Lattimore with all that XP. Malik Hooker comes in 4th, and that's all we got. So, I have so much XP to use. I want to see what Lattimore's overall is going to be, and then after that, we'll get into this wildcard game against the Chargers. So Lattimore's overall is up to an 85. I did use pretty much half his XP to get his development up to superstar, but still, 85 after 1 year is quite solid, in my opinion. So getting into this wild card matchup against the San Diego Chargers, we're at an 89 overall now compared to their 82. I know I said it last year, but definitely expecting a win this time around. So coming up on halftime here, we're up 17-6, 24-6 now, and it's looking like we're going to pull it out as long as we don't give up anything in the fall. It's a close game. Okay, we're up by 10 though. We're good. All right. They kind of came back a little bit, trying to make me nervous, but we still won, so I'm happy with that. And we're on to the divisional round in season number 2. So here in the divisional round, we're going to be taking on the 10-6 Oakland Raiders. We're up to a 90 overall, and they're an 88. I think this is going to be a really close game, but hopefully we'll be able to come out on top. So coming up on halftime here, it is a very close game, like I said, 28-20, 35-20. Okay, we're pulling away, 42-28 now, and we're going to win. It was really close up until the third quarter, and I was kind of getting a little nervous about it, but oh my God, Ben Roethlisberger, okay. I see you, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Le'Veon Bell had a good game. Damn, Murray had 3 touchdowns on us. Amari Cooper went off. So who got all the touchdowns? Sammy Coates, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, and Mike Williams all had receiving touchdowns for us. So good game out of our offense. So here in the conference championship now, we're going to be taking on the 11-5 Tennessee Titans. And we're up to a 91 overall, and they're only an 84. So I'm definitely thinking that we're going to win this game. And hopefully we'll advance on to the Super Bowl in season number 2. So coming up on halftime, we're actually start of the third quarter now. We're currently up by 10. And we just scored again. So it looks like we're going to come out on top. And we're going to be going on to a Super Bowl here in season number 2. So that's nice. Ben Roethlisberger's going off again, dude. Look at this. 4 touchdowns, 81% completion percentage. That's crazy. Okay, Le'Veon Bell had a good game. Who got Delaney Walker with 2 touchdowns? Le'Veon Bell, Mike Williams, Ladarius Green, and Roosevelt Nix all had receiving touchdowns. That's pretty crazy. So this is kind of funny. We're taking on the Falcons in the Super Bowl, and they went 10-4-2. I just think that is a really, really odd record to have. Let's see what the overall is, though. It is an 86. I don't know exactly what their team is looking like now in the game, but in real life, their offense is just nasty this year. So hopefully they don't torture defense too badly. So coming up on halftime here, we're up 24-10, 27-10 now, and it's looking like we're gonna win this game, guys. So we're gonna win the Super Bowl in year number 2, which means we're gonna try to win it again next year in season number 3. So Ben Roethlisberger is going off in these playoffs. He's pulling like a 2012. What's his name? Joe Flacco. I think that's the year they won the Super Bowl. Is 2012, but like he's been ridiculous in these playoffs. Le'Veon Bell though, 2 touchdowns receiving. Antonio Brown, Mike Williams, and Devontae Freeman had one too. But damn, like I'm assuming he got MVP just because, oh, well, he's the quarterback and he did really well. But like Ben Roethlisberger really playoff MVP for sure. Oh, son of a bitch. Well, looks like I forgot to turn off Phil Roster, and the CPU decided to franchise tag Stephon Tuitt. So we now have no money, I think. Let's actually check this out. I mean, we could trade him. Oh, we actually have 23. Okay. We just have no money for free agency because of our draft picks. But, oh, we have 2 and 19. All right, that's interesting. So it's saying we need a middle linebacker. I may upgrade that. I mean, we are running a 4-3, I believe. So, yeah, I might upgrade that. I might try to get Luke Kuechly. But we'll see. So I'm going to look for some trades, look through free agency, see if there's anybody I would like to get on the team. I think the O-line's good. But Stephon Tuitt is really kind of the weak link, and then our linebacking core, well, it's still the secondary. Actually, definitely main priority this offseason is getting another starting quality corner, and then put Artie Burns in the nickel as the nickel corner. So that's what I'm going to try to do real quick. So we're just going to go out and get Jalen Ramsey like it's no big deal. We're going to be trading some safety named Dangerfield that's been here since year 1. He's just been a backup. But he's somehow progressed to a 75 overall, so they liked him. First-round pick and a fourth-round pick for Mr. Jalen Ramsey, so he's going to be our other starting corner. Now, I would also like to get, as you can see, our top 3 needs are all linebacking spots. So I'd like to upgrade that. Shane Ray honestly doesn't even really fit our scheme, I think. So I'm going to look for the Panthers and see if I can get Luke Kuechly. So all it took to get Luke Kuechly was Shane Ray and a second-round pick. Madden 18 better have some better trade logic, to be honest, because for whatever reason, linebackers and D tackles and O linemen are all extremely easy to trade for. But you can trade for a 99 overall middle linebacker easier than you can trade for a 78 overall cornerback, which I think is just ridiculous. So I'm thinking I might move Shazier to right outside linebacker, have Luke play in the middle, and then see if we can actually find a replacement for Dupree. Get more. Actually, let me look at his stats first. So for whatever reason, it was actually a lot harder to get Shaq Thompson than Luke Kuechly, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. But I moved Bud Dupree's position to middle linebacker so that I could get this trade to work. So I had to actually trade for a second-round pick from the Panthers and then give him that and a third round next year. Also, I could get Shaq Thompson. So our defense is looking very, very nice. Linebackers, I moved Shazier to right outside, so he's actually much better there than at middle. But like I said, even with Tuitt, it's looking nice. And I might look to move him and get a better right end if possible. So I'll look into doing that. And then after that, we'll move on to the draft, most likely. So we're giving up a lot to make this trade go through, but we're going to send Stephon Tuitt, a first-round pick, and a seventh-round pick to the Rams for Aaron Donald and some throw-in so that they could actually afford Tuitt's contract. And that's going to do it, I think. I'm down to nothing but like fifth, sixth, and no, not even fifth, just sixth and seventh round picks this year in the draft. So that's nice, but we're going to move Aaron Donald to right end. And, yeah, we should be good to go for next season, I think. I'll probably just have to fill in some backup spots. But as for the starters, this is all we're going to do, I think. I'll revisit it at the start of next season. But for now, there's not much more to do. So I'm going to go ahead and sim to the draft, and I won't even show you guys that because I don't really have anything to do in there. So I'll see you guys at the start of season number 3. Alright, so this is going to be the team for season number 3. I didn't really add much, or I'm not going to make any trades. So all I did was I picked up AP because he didn't get signed to free agency. I got like some backups in other places. And that's it, actually. I got Daryl Morris as well to be our fourth corner, which really doesn't matter. And I signed some rookie quarterback with 86 speed just because Roethlisberger is the only one on the roster, but that doesn't even matter because injuries are off. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the midseason and see what our record is. So at the midseason, we have a bye week again, so I don't know what our record is, but I'm just going to go straight to the playoffs after this because there's nothing really left for me to do since it is season number 3 and all. And we are 7-1. Let's see if we can go 15-1. That'd be nice. But let's go ahead and go to the playoffs. As like I said, there's nothing really left for me to do at this point. If we could go 15-1, that would be really quite nice. So here at the playoffs, Le'Veon Bell wins MVP, I see. Don't know what our record is, but looking at XP, we seem to have done very well. It doesn't really look like we have any award winners aside from maybe Marshawn Lattimore. I doubt it, though. But let's... Oh, we do go 15-1. Let's go. All right, so let's take a quick look at stats. Roethlisberger, 4,300 yards, 45 touchdowns, and 15 picks. Rushing, Le'Veon Bell, the MVP winner, 1,600 yards, 17 touchdowns. AP, 500 yards, 7 touchdowns. Receiving, Antonio Brown leads the team yet again, 1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns. Martavis Bryant in second with 900 yards and 5 touchdowns. And Mike Williams, almost 1,000 yards again and 6 touchdowns. Blocking, sacks, I guess the total amount of sacks is still kind of up. But once again, the tackles give up a ton. Defense, Luke Kuechly leads the team with 124 tackles. Tackles for loss, as I get invited to the party from Bronson. Shout out to Bronson. But tackles for loss was led by Aaron Donald with 18, followed by Leonard Williams with 13, and Joey Bosa with 9. And sacks, Aaron Donald 17.5, Joey Bosa with 10.5. Leonard Williams, 6.5. Same with Shazier. Picks goes to Jalen Ramsey with 4. Buchanan and Lattimore both had 3 each. Forced fumbles was led by Ryan Shazier with 4. And we had at least 1 touchdown from Jalen Ramsey. So that's it for the stats. Now let's take a look at awards. Le'Veon Bell won MVP, as I said. Roethlisberger comes in 3rd. And that's it for us. Coach of the Year goes to the Bears coach. Ben's Guilty comes in 3rd. On to the AFC, though. Le'Veon Bell wins Offensive Player of the Year. Roethlisberger comes in 2nd, and that's it. Defensive goes to Von Miller. Luke Kuechly comes in 3rd. Aaron Donald in 4th. And that's it for us. Rookie of the Year, we didn't have any rookies at all. So that's it for the awards. So I'm going to go ahead and use all this XP, and we'll get on to our divisional round matchup. So here in the divisional round of the playoffs, we're going to be taking on the 9-6-1 Tennessee Titans. So I'm fully expecting a win. Let's see what our overalls are. We're a 95 and they're an 86. Definitely expecting to move on here. So coming up on halftime, we're blowing them out 27-0. They finally score near the end of the third quarter, but this game has been over for quite some time now, and we're going to end up winning 30-3. So we are, in fact, moving on to the conference championship. Ben Roethlisberger, not a lot of yards, but he did throw 3 touchdowns, and he was very efficient. So hopefully we'll be able to move on to the Super Bowl and win it for the second year in a row. And by the way, real quick, I'd just like to point out that we do have a 99 offense and 99 defense. So now here in the conference championship, we're going to be going up against the 11-5 Denver Broncos. So we'll see what their overall is. And it's an 86. We're still a 95. Pretty much same as last week. Definitely expecting to move on here. So coming up on halftime here, it's looking like it's going to be another blowout. And this game it's wrapped up. We're moving on. Oh, God. Hold on. Wait a minute. I may have spoken a little soon. Never mind. Okay. Oh. Whew. Oh. All right. We still won. Look at this. They almost came back. I think they have a rookie quarterback. Threw 4 touchdowns on us. Jesus. But nonetheless, we are moving on to the Super Bowl. So here in Super Bowl week, we're going to be taking on the 12-4 Seattle Seahawks. And let's take a quick look at their overall. It's a 91. Okay, this is by far the best team that we've had to go against. Hopefully our defense shows up and doesn't give up a second half comeback like we almost did last week. So here coming up on halftime, it's been pretty good so far. We're sitting at 24-13. Make that 31-20. And wow, somehow we managed to get stopped at the goal line, but it looks like, oh, they tied the game. Oh no. Oh, it's doing infinite OT. Oh fuck, they won. Oh man. All right. That's unfortunate. Wow, that's really unfortunate. All right. Let's see what happened. Ben didn't have 2. Oh, okay. We both threw 2 picks. Rushing. Jeez, Le'Veon Bell went off. Receiving. Antonio Brown had a good game. Sammy Coates and AB were the ones with the touchdowns. Let's take a look at defense. Damn, Cam Chancellor with 18 tackles. Aaron Donald had 2.5 sacks. So it looks like we kind of got to the quarterback and even number, or is pretty even between both teams. Artie Burns and Luke Kuechly both had picks for us, and Sherman and Bobby Wagner had picks for them. So close game. I would have liked to actually have watched it. It seems like it would have been a good game to actually watch as the real Super Bowl. But unfortunately, we couldn't win back-to-back championships, which does kind of suck, but we still put together quite a great team. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I think you've already seen the final team. It's been the same since the beginning of the year. But if you want to see it again, you can feel free to pause the video here and take a look at the offense and defense. But like I said, hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, if we could hit maybe 50 likes on this video, I'd be happy with that. Be happy with that for now. So let's have a 50 like goal. And yeah, that's going to be it for this one. I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching.